and hopefully that actually does it. So you check out anything over the week?
I am working my way through season three of From. I thought I might have to
Is that the
get back to
Harold
that.
Perrineau one? I think that's how you
Yeah,
say it. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've got about two more to go of that. I should finish it tomorrow.
Yeah. All
It's
right. I've only
yeah, it's
heard
not
good things about it.
yeah, it's not too bad. There's some limitations sort of creeping in. He's quite good in it, but the acting on the whole is not really landing for me. But
Yeah. All right.
yeah, it's a pretty good. If you were anyone who enjoyed Lost will enjoy this. It's by some of the people who worked on Lost. Um, that Javier Grillo, I forget his name, um, and a few others.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
very
Yeah.
Lost-like. Um, so yeah, I've got yeah, two more to go.
How many seasons has that got at the moment?
So there's four out now, and there's a final one for next year. I think it will it got renewed for a fifth and final season. So it's always tricky trying to time these because like some shows I've started and you sort of lose interest in them because they take so long to come out. But
Yeah.
so and that's what happened to me with For All Mankind, which is a terrific show, but I watched it when there were only two seasons out. And it's got, I think, one more to go. There's season five or maybe season six, and that's coming out next year, I think. And then they'll all be in the can, so I can
And
go
the
back
kitty.
and yeah, go back to watching it from beginning to end because yeah, that was a really good show. But yeah, um, well, one of the reasons I enjoyed The American so much last year was it had long since finished. It told a complete story from beginning to end, so I had a blast just watching one a night, like all six seasons ready to go.
But it's always the did it tell a complete middle and end, like a start, a middle, and end. It does that sort of thing.
Yeah, well,
You know,
yeah,
like we sort
absolutely.
we
Yeah,
sort of move the goalpost. Like, does it? You know, it's like what is that? Adrian Brody line in King Kong when he gives Carl Denham the script. This is a script. This is 15 pages. Yeah, no, but they're good. You got 15 good pages there, Jack.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've heard worse. I think they greenlit Revenge of the Fallen on about two pages, so I've heard worse than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like you've given me a start here, but I need a middle and an end. I need something to shoot. Yeah, no, but they're good. Yeah, you know. But also, you know, like you hear things about like complete, you know, thrown out tearaway. Like I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Joe Johnston in Jurassic Park 3, right? Like that was pretty much thrown out like day of filming, and we'll just make it up as we go along.
Yeah, that's right. But it's not too bad. I think it's I hope they can stick the landing because it just it's sort of in a bit of a holding pattern now because they've established the rules. So the monsters only come out at night. You need to be indoors. There's things they can do to protect themselves. So it's kind of at a little bit of a stalemate. The monsters can't um, sort of get to them, and Harold Perrineau's character, who's the sheriff, he's sort of
Yeah.
got the town, to be really disciplined, um, and not, you know, like yeah, he's quite good at it because it's almost sort of a bit like I Am Legend, the book, where they try to trick you into doing something stupid. So he's quite good at like for instance, like if like families that have children, you have to nail the windows shut. Um, so yeah, he has all these little rules in place for the town to help keep them alive. So it's
Yeah, so what? Like they're a little bit like ghouls, or like the actual witch in the Blair Witch 2016 prequel that tries to fake you out.
yeah, they look human, but they do morph into these sort of creatures with teeth and fangs and that. Um, they yeah, they have this sort of unnerving, constantly smiling. They don't run, they just walk. So even if you do find yourself outside at night, you can outrun them and try and get to safety. But the downside is they can shapeshift and look like people. So there's some people who, like, you're banging on the door of someone trying to get in, but they're reluctant to let you in because it could be a trick. Because yeah, they
Do
want
do they do
they
they just out of interest? Do they keep the smile if they're shapeshifting?
no, they can lose it. But yeah, their default form is they sort of walk around with this sort of, yeah, manic kind of grin.
Yeah, all right.
Um, so yeah, and there's actually been sort of little screen time of them, but again, there's kind of a point to it because it's at a stalemate. They, the townsfolk or the people who are trapped there aren't stupid enough to go outside, and um, but we are sort of getting some little tantalizing hints, because he's keen on, like, they're playing defense. It's time to go on the offense now, and because yeah, they also they're not like, we're not sure if they can be killed. There's, like, one of them copped a point blank shotgun and it sort of just did nothing. So they're looking. It's a really interesting subplot brewing, because it appears they do a routine. Like, this monster will stop here and then go on their rounds, and so yeah, we're finally, after 3 seasons, getting some little hints about how they think and their life cycle and things like that. And it's
Well,
what makes it.
How long is an actual season? Like, I'm assuming we're not doing Lost like 26 episodes to move the needle like one bar, right? Like,
No, that's no, and it's lost but better. They're only 10 episode seasons, and since 4 out of 5 seasons are out now, you don't have that frustrating wait watching it week to week. And yes, they do give answers, and I'm pleased with that. For instance, like, non-spoilery, but we do know where they go during the day, and that's explained early on in season two.
yeah,
Um,
okay, yeah.
so yeah, there are some. It does, like, I feel satisfied with the answers I've got so far. It has um, it has revealed a few things as the seasons have gone on. So yeah, I'm pretty confident they will stick the landing.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Um, yeah, no, this was always one that people always tagged me about, but I just, yeah, sort of, uh, it's weird. Like, even though I do like Lost and all that kind of stuff, and I like the period that it came out in, it's always a tough sell with me when I hear it's the classic. It's like Lost, but it explains shit.
Yeah,
Like I always sit back and I go, well, then it's kind of just more of the same, right? Like, it's sort of like, I know I used this as the prime example a couple of times, but it's always like the Babylon 5 principle, isn't it? Like, I never got around to Star Trek, and like, I love Leonard Nimoy though, and like, I love the character of Spock, but I never gave Star Trek a chance. Oh yeah, well, it's like Babylon 5, but like cool, and I'm sitting there going, well, it's more of the same though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of hard for me to get into things that I like, things that I like. Like, that's not to say that like I think they're bad or I think they're knockoffs or anything like that. Like, it's if it's covered ground, it's covered ground, right? Like,
yeah.
it's always
Well, I
been one
think
of those
it's
sort of things with me. Like,
yeah. Well, it's fun to not be at the ground floor. Like, I think that the first season of From came out in 2022, I think, and I had never even heard of it until this year. And it's funny, I went back and had a look at some of the season one discussions, and there was a funny comment from a guy who watched the pilot. So they're stuck in this town for years. How do they still have working electricity? I won't hold my breath waiting for
is
them to
that real?
explain that.
Is that
And well,
really?
the fuck thing is that actually is a plot point why they still have electricity, and they do explain it. So that guy looks like a right royal fucking knob.
You know what? It reminds me of. See, this is where I really like Lost when Ben has his spine fixed by Jack, and fucking Locke creeps into the barracks at gunpoint, and Ben's still in the wheelchair. How do you guys have electricity? We have two giant hamster wheels with two giant mutant hamsters running constantly to hydropower this. Yeah, whatever. He like just shuts him up. Like, I love it how they explain it as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, the well, like, another one is the classic, like in the Lost World when Nick goes to radio the InGen ship, for rescue. Oh well, how does this communication center have power? Well, Ludlow explains that earlier. It's geothermal power. Like there's a volcano on the fucking island that powers everything. So
Yeah,
like it's not like a Jenny or something like that. Like it's still there.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go then. I just don't get that. Like when the concept of something is laid out, the logistics of how this, it's the classic. Why doesn't Jack have a beard at the end of season one? Like why does Kate not have yellow teeth at the end of season one? Like why doesn't Sawyer need a haircut like 4 episodes in because it's set week to week? Like fucking, uh, really? Are we really doing that?
yeah. I know. I try not to get bogged down in little things like that, but it was very funny because yeah, a couple of episodes later, one of the characters does realize, hang on, these lights shouldn't really work, and then I think the wife or the mother goes, yeah, you know what, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Why does the electricity work? And I just started laughing because there was some guy just doing his nut after the pilot. That there was this weird detail that was bugging him, and who knew that actually becomes a focal point in like 4 episodes time.
Like I just like
But
I just find that so interesting. We didn't seem to have the ability to not issue artistic liberties to something before. Why is it suddenly a deal breaker now? Like I don't understand. Like if you apply that across the board, like they would absolutely tear strips off of things they love. You know what I mean?
yeah, I it's yeah, it's
Like for example, the Mexican family that Sarah knows in Judgment Day. Oh yeah, but like as if they could stockpile that ammo. I mean, like come on, like well, when is this? Like 1990? Okay, well let's have a look at what there was. I mean, really, were you guys really asking that back then? Like
yeah. It was
something
kind of
something tells me they
funny.
weren't, but whatever. Like yeah.
Yeah, but also with television, you sort of do have to give it a couple of episodes. It's kind of it's hard to sort of um, get a whole picture just from the pilot. Whereas you give it, I think if you give it 2 or 3 or even 4 episodes, if a show hasn't grabbed you by then, it's probably time to move on. But
Well, I
you
give it.
sometimes you sort of do have to give, if it's a TV series, like it's got to sort of, because a pilot can be very rough, but it's rare for a pilot to be fully formed and polished.
Yeah, of course. I don't think many people expect it to be. Oh well, then again, fuck. Yeah, maybe people do. These days, I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
But well, when you look at the 3 act structure, it's hard to squeeze that in 30 minutes, right? Because if you really get into it, it's 10 minutes a piece, right? To introduce a problem, develop the characters to move on to the next phase of that problem. It's kind of hard to delegate that over 30 minutes, right? And juggling it also, I guess, it depends on the size of the cast of characters. It's really hard to sort of let everything simmer to a nice boil to the final product all in one episode. Like, especially when you're talking about a pilot. Like, the way I've always seen it, a pilot sets the tone of the series. Not so much the characters or their motivations or what makes them tick or any of that sort of bullshit. Like, for me, like, when I hear pilot, it's this is what you're signing up for if you're going to continue watching. Like, this is the
yeah,
tone of what we are presenting. And I think a pilot, at most, is 2 parts. Like if they're going that, like if there's a 3 part pilot, tell your story walking. Fuck out of
yeah,
here. Like no more than two at least. Like if not one, but pilot is putting your best foot forward, and this is what you're signing up for. This is the tone of where we're coming from.
yeah. I remember years ago they tried to bring back The Saint around 2008-ish, and they
Simon
did
Templar.
yeah, they thought about sort of rebooting it for a modern audience, and I'm told it's quite good, but it's never been available. I don't think because they sort of fleshed it out and made it a movie length. The show didn't get picked up, but there was they sort of added a bit more to it to sort of flesh it out and make it. sort of a standalone piece, and I'd love to see
Yeah.
it. I know they cast Eliza Dushku in it, but I forget who was the new Saint.
I think even
It just
Val
sounds.
Kilmer was Simon Templar in the movie, I think, but the movie wasn't a sort of comedic
Hmm.
sort of thing. I think that one was really
Yeah,
makes you contemplate mortality, I think. The
well, you had the Roger Moore show from the '60s, and yeah, they did a reboot with Val Kilmer in the 1990s as a film.
and that was a movie. Yeah, that was a movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they around 2008-ish, they um, yeah, did this sort of movie length pilot that yeah, I've never been able to find a copy of it.
Well, obviously we need to tap Jai Courtney to do Simon Templar next, right?
Yeah, yeah, or who's that guy in everything? The Mandalorian.
What, Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, yeah, he's in fucking everything these days.
You know, I was watching the shark clip from Gladiator 2, and lo and behold, there he fucking is.
Yeah,
Yeah, like man, I don't do movies these days. I just do the, I just do the Joey Donna from 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah, you go into the movies to check out this. We don't chat. It's sort of what I just do from now on. Um, yeah, like I don't know, like like everything just seems to sort of stagnate after a while, doesn't it? Like when you see the same actors in everything constantly over and over and over again. Like for example, right? It's not like you back in the 80s and 90s like for example, you saw Stallone in a Rocky movie, a Rambo movie, and then in a fucking, like a John Q movie, like or something like that. Like everyone very much sort of like stuck to their lanes. But when you got the same guy rocking up in very different genres all the time, and like I understand, like it shows the versatility of the actor, or so people think. I'm just seeing fucking Mando all the time, you know? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's the typecasting thing. I'm not too sure. Maybe I never warmed up to the guy in the first place. But that's just an example of it. Like, I don't know.
yeah. He seems to be Eddie everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
Eddie
first,
McGuire. Yeah.
yeah, he was the Red Viper, Prince Oberyn in Game of Thrones, but yeah, since then he's just been in heaps of stuff. Yeah, The Mandalorian, he's Mr. Fantastic.
I don't really understand that, but then again, I never saw it, you know? Like, I'm
Yeah,
so.
I still need to see the Fantastic Four. I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, I opted for Superman instead. Spoilers. Oh well, I don't know. Like, well, you were like that, weren't you? Like when you were queuing up to buy a ticket to Spider-Man, Homecoming or whatever the fuck the first one was, you changed your mind at the last minute and bought a ticket to Wonder Woman instead.
Yeah, it's the only time it's
Mm.
ever happened. I had, yeah, it's never happened before or since where I've gone to the movies and not seen the movie I had planned to. I still remember that day. It was a work day. I drove to the next town to, yeah, I'd planned to see Spider-Man 2017. So Homecoming, Coming Home, Back for Home, Christmas, whatever the fuck it's. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that shits me about the Tom Holland ones. You can't fucking just call it one, two, three, four for fuck's sake. So anyone who missed them knows where to start. They all sound the
Hmm.
fucking same. That annoys me. Anyway, so to continue the
Hmm.
story, I yeah was waiting in line and the poster for Wonder Woman caught my eye. So I quickly made the decision now because Wonder Woman, that's not a character I'm overly familiar with. I never read her comic the way I did like your Spider-Mans and Batmans and Supermans. Um, so yeah, I kind of changed tack and went to see her film, and I thought her film was really good. I haven't seen the sequel, and I've never seen the Wonder Woman movie since then, but yeah, I've always remembered that because yeah, when I waiting in line, I just decided to see a different movie. But and I can articulate it now. At the time, I couldn't. But was I going to see Spider-Man because I was genuinely excited, or was I just going out of habit, you know? And it was probably just out of habit.
Hmm.
Whereas Wonder Woman is a character that I'm not familiar with, and you know, at least it would be more interesting than just seeing. like yet another Spider-Man reboot, you know. I'm absolutely staggered that this new film has been so successful. This brand new day as is already, grossed over $1 billion and it hasn't even been out for a week. I
Yeah,
cannot
I haven't
believe.
even been paying attention to it, to be honest, because yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really.
this could easily crack the top two or three. This could even get within striking distance of the highest grossing film of all time. It's cleared $1 billion in a week. How does
Yeah,
a
all right,
movie?
fair enough.
So this is what what Spider-Man movie is this? Seventh or eighth?
Uh, uh,
It's got to be up there
like,
somewhere.
are we counting the animated ones? Do we count Venom? Like, I don't know these fucking rules.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking solo. So you got the Raimi trilogy, Andrew Garfield's couple.
Yeah, what are they? The Mark Webb movies, I
Yeah.
think.
How
What's
many's
that's
Tom Holland
five.
been in?
What?
Is this Holland's fourth one or
I think
fifth
this is
one?
his fourth one. Yeah, fourth.
Yeah. So what's that? 10th film. And wow, that's pretty impressive.
So that's 10 films in what 24 years.
Yeah.
For
But
Spider Man. Yeah.
this one's success is mind-blowing. This will easily be the most successful one of all of them.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Oh, well, then so be it. Um, I don't know, man. Like, all right, awesome. Fucking, I've. It's been a long time since I've had an appetite for Spider Man, to be honest with you. Like I was dipping into a few arcs earlier in the week about the character and just stuff like that, and I sort of just realized the things that really attracted me to the character aren't necessarily in the DNA of the actual character himself. And like what I mean by that is I gravitate more towards the DNA of the writers at the time that distinguished the character when I was a kid, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
rather than the character himself. Yeah, like maybe I'm sure there's a word for it. It's just that, like when I think back to like things like the '90s era and like maximum bonage, and maximum garbage and all this kind of stuff, and I think about the spin that people had like on Peter Parker at the time and the writers and the illustrators that were influencing the character when I was a kid and sort of what I assume Spider-Man to be just simply isn't. And I would argue probably since the introduction of the Ultimate era is that he's always been some nitwit since then. And I don't think he's always been that way. So yeah, I guess I have more of a reverence for the era of the character or of the imprint that the writers left on the character rather than the character himself. Because like I've seen him used in many different ways since then. Um, and yeah, man, like spoiler alert, I'm not getting behind a 30-year-old playing a 15-year-old. It's just, it's I guess, this character's contribution to my life is well and truly over.
Yeah. I wonder, yeah, I'd be curious, but yeah, like I said, I haven't seen any of the Tom Holland solo ones. But I'm curious to see what's so good about this one to drive, such a huge audience appetite. Because, yeah, this thing has absolutely flew out of the blocks. Um, I'll sort of keep an eye on how it's tracking because it's very, like in my experience, it's rare for the. I know they're not all part of the same series,
Yeah.
but it's very rare for a character's 10th outing to be so mind. Normally they're at the fucking direct-to-video shithole by this point.
Yeah, and also not to mention two reboots in.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, very peculiar what's going on there because yeah, it's almost like I was reading, it's almost caught up to the Odyssey already, which has been out for nearly a month. So yeah, very peculiar that it's immense box office performance.
Yeah, all right then. If people like it, well then so be it. Like I'm not vindictive enough, to fucking scream hatred or like I've got zero interest in where this thing goes. If people are having a good time with it, well then that's awesome. Like
Yeah,
that's a win in my book. Um, if it's making people happy and everyone's going to go and see it and all that good stuff and it's a lot of fun for everyone, and man, go for it. Fucking
Yeah,
like absolutely. Um, yeah, it's like if cinemas weren't in the shitter the way that they are in my local area, I'd probably go and check it out myself.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like it's just that sort of like I was thinking about this the other day, and it's sort of the reason, like I've like just trying to figure out why I haven't really gone in for any real new depiction of these characters. Like I'm trying to think, like when's the last time I really gave one of these that I loved as a kid a shot in the modern sort of format. And I honestly can't think of an example of it. Like if I had to pick one, I oh well, it sounds kind of dumb now, but obviously Superman. Like I took a punt on that um, last year, but that was a long time between drinks, man. Like I think the last time I went to a cinema to see a comic book movie was The Dark Knight Rises. So that's 13 fucking years. Um, between The Dark Knight Rises and James Gunn's Superman.
yeah,
Like that is 13 years. Like that's your entire schooling life and some change right
yeah,
there. Like and a gap year since the last time I went to the movies to see a comic book movie.
yeah. And it probably started a few years earlier, like you sort of mentioned the modern take. And I think that kind of started with Batman Begins. I
Yeah,
feel it's become sort of trendy to bash Christopher Nolan and pile on him, but those movies are incredible. And so is The Prestige, and so is Dunkirk. This guy he's
yeah.
just fucking phenomenal. Like
I
those
I
Batman movies
I will I
are
will
just
say
terrific.
I will say I think The Prestige is his best work.
Yeah.
Like what knot did you tie, Borden? Um, like that one to me is always going to be like I'll never forget when I saw that on Blu-ray for the first time. Fucking top movie. Um,
Yeah.
The Prestige. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's funny. Like I know it's trendy to sort of, and pretty much since 2012 to pile on The Dark Knight Rises. Funny enough, I find that being the one I go back and revisit the most out of the three.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's probably what's the word? It's probably the most uneven because it's one thing I always give Nolan for is like those films have just such a huge scope to them
Hmm.
when and it the story just took so many unexpected twists. Like there was a lot of hype for Batman Begins and to bring it back after Batman and Robin and that sort of stuff. And no
Yeah.
one, no one predicted the opening scene would be Bruce Wayne in jail. You're thinking because it makes you sit up straight, going, "What the hell's going on here?" Um,
And not only that though, like I think the concept of a reboot hadn't been heard of before Batman Begins.
yeah,
Like no one ever was saying, "Oh, they're going to reboot it. They're going to reboot it. They're going to reboot it." No one ever fucking said the word reboot pre Batman Begins.
yeah, it was the first honest to God, forget everything that came before kind of
Yeah.
thing, and to do it so successfully, and he made so many smart decisions to to really break new ground. Yeah, and no one predicted Ra's al Ghul. The Scarecrow was kind of made sense, but Ra's al Ghul was a terrific surprise, and yeah, just fantastic. There's a lot of energy in that movie, which probably is backed by the that score. That zin, 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 zin,
Hans
zin.
Zimmer.
It's
Yeah, you
just
got to
that,
thaw him
yeah,
out. Mm.
yeah. It's just yeah. It had a huge ambitious scope to it, as all three films did, and the music is terrific, and the cast is all really good. And yeah, and he just kept delivering surprises. Like no one predicted Bane. Everyone was sort
I
of
was gonna
thinking
say that. I
they
was
would
gonna
have come
say
up.
that. Like I don't give a fuck what anyone says in retrospect. Absolutely no one was predicting Bane um at the time.
Yeah, like there was a lot of talk for the Riddler and things like that, but
Yeah,
Lord
like what is
Bane
it? Like I
was,
heard like Johnny Depp, and like one of the ones that I heard was after the death of Rachel in The Dark Knight, they might have gone in for Mr. Freeze.
yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, well that would be cool, but Freeze clearly is not the sort of caliber of villain that Nolan sort of prides himself on.
yeah. I'm interested to see who the villain is in this next one with Robert Pattinson, because
Mm. Yeah, man, I'm definitely holding out for Mr. Freeze.
yeah. To circle back to the Prestige, I was sad to hear that the author of the book, The Prestige, is based on a book by Christopher Priest. He passed away,
Oh,
I
really?
think early last year. I remember reading about it at the time, and hardly any of the sort of fantasy sci-fi sort of blogs or websites had even picked up on it. And I think the reason I think is because The Prestige is not a not famous movie. It was a pretty big movie when it came out.
Yeah, what,
But I have a
2006,
theory,
I think? I think that was the follow up to Begins.
yeah, and I think one of the reasons why is the film. It's one of the rare examples where the film is better than the book. I didn't read the book before the film. I finally got around to the book around 2018 or so, and it was yeah, I'd probably have to give it to the film. It's just such a remarkable film. How they're trying to outsmart each other, and they're obsessed with learning how each one does the transported man trick,
Yeah,
and
the transported man, yeah.
the twist with Christian Bale's character is just fucking brilliant. It just, the way it all fits together at the end when you realize how he's doing it. Um, oh, just brilliant. Yeah, I might watch it again tonight.
Yeah, I might watch it when you fuck off.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, the Prestige. No, I still like I've been saying that pretty much since I could wear a high school uniform that I think the Prestige is Christopher Nolan's magnum opus, I think people say. Um yeah, I reckon this one was definitely the one that really did him in for me. Because like what Borden had the twin brother, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and they cut his fingers off to make it match and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Hugh Jackman's character used the Tesla clone machine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, and it's funny that that device is in the film because reading the book. there's a lot more of that sort of stuff that Nolan really toned down because yeah, there's like these ghastly spectral apparitions in the book as well, and I think Nolan wisely sort of sidestepped them. So I was always curious he went with that machine. And I was listening to a podcast with Ian Nathan the other day, and I never knew this theory, but so apparently the theory is Tesla is actually Andy Serkis's character, not David Bowie. David Bowie's like the Stooge. I've
Oh,
never heard of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that theory. I'd have to rewatch it now with that in mind.
Yeah,
I
all
don't think
right.
Nolan ever committed to giving an answer either way, but like, wow, I'd never heard of that theory.
Well, I always like that fucking line from Hugh Jackman in the movie is I don't need him to be my twin brother, I need him to be me.
Yeah, yeah, but the twin was fantastic, and you realize suddenly you understand the wife, why she is the way she is. You
Hmm.
understand Fallon, and oh, it just fit together fucking perfectly. That twist, because I think the Bale twist, where he's the twin, was a lot more effective than the Jackman one,
Yeah.
because it just completes the film. Yeah, what an absolutely brilliant twist. He's a fucking twin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about it now. Yeah, The Prestige, without a doubt, is Chris Nolan's fucking best work.
Yeah. But Dunkirk's up there as well. I was because I saw that at the movies and I didn't quite appreciate it at the time. So I'm just as guilty as well of sort of the dog pile, but
I was gonna
fucking
ask,
it's
like
mind-blowing the way
I was
that
gonna
film was
ask,
put together.
I was gonna ask real quick. Did Jonathan Nolan have a hand in The Prestige? And yeah, screenplay by Jonathan and Christopher Nolan. So yeah,
Yeah.
John was in there with that one.
Yeah, he often is, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because like he works pretty closely with his brother on a lot of those. I was just wondering if he had a hand in writing the Prestige, and yeah, according to this, yeah, no, he's there. But yeah, Dunkirk.
Yeah. I didn't quite grasp it at the time. So it's a very interesting sort of approach because it spans three different time frames. You've got the land battle, which takes place over a week. You've got the sea battle or the sea rescue, which takes place over a day. And you've got Tom Hardy's character, the pilot in the air, the aerial battle, and that takes place over an hour. But they're all sort of interconnecting, and we're jumping back and forth and flip flopping between all three storylines.
Yeah,
I
all
didn't
right.
quite, maybe I wasn't smart enough at the time to appreciate it. But yeah, it's really intricate the way it's put together with the different time frames. Because you think, and they all sort of coalesce at the end, where you realize like Tom Hardy's only there for a short time, but even though he's sort of peppered throughout the film, his storyline only takes place for an hour, whereas the land battle is a week, and sailing across the channel to rescue them is only a day. I mean, that's a really interesting approach. And I get why he did it because he went with, apart from Tom Hardy's character and a couple of others, they're mainly unknown actors. I think that sort of kind of hurt it. I get what he was doing, but maybe it wouldn't have hurt to sort of go with a few more names. But
I'm not overly sold on Harry Styles, but I
yeah, I
trust
know,
him.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, like Nolan's got credit in the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, but I'm gonna try and revisit that over the weekend because yeah, I probably didn't appreciate it as much when it came out as I should have, even though I did go along to see it. Um, Now that sort of watching it and focusing on it and how it all fits together, I think I might enjoy it much, much more this time around.
It's hard to believe Dunkirk was almost a decade ago. Fucking
I know,
hell.
it's
Is it really
scary,
that
isn't it?
long since
Yeah,
2017? Like, my God. Like, Last Jedi came out a week ago, and that was a
yeah, I
decade
know.
ago now. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
we're almost a decade removed from the rise of Skywalker, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's a scary thought.
You know, it's like the blue road beast getting crushed to death and being eaten as food.
Yeah.
and all that kind of jazz. You know, like a man's search for faith and all that type of shit. I carry my medical reports around with me. It saves time. Yeah, Liz Clay. Um, when you first saw The Dark Knight Rises, your initial takeaway?
Initially underwhelming on
Yeah.
the whole. Yeah, I've kind of gone back and forth on that over the years. Um, yeah, initially underwhelming. Part of that was probably the hype. I mean, the hype was very big for that movie. It was the conclusion to the trilogy, and um, Heath Ledger's passing, even though it was a few years before, was still sort of very much in people's moviegoers' minds. Um, yeah, I found it a little bit underwhelming at first, but over the years I've revisited it and really enjoy it. Like I've gone through phases where it's like the best movie of all time, and then I go back, no, it's not that good. And then you watch it again, and it's sort of mind blowing. And then it's
I
like,
know,
oh no, he
yeah.
could have done better.
I know,
But
yeah. It's one of those things like, and I suppose, like, especially for me, like, because I was only 2 years removed from high school when this thing came out, and I was going through a massive, like, Nightfall kick, and Batman was kind of stagnated because it had been 2 years since The Dark Knight, and there's still 2 more years until the next one. Like, it didn't even have a title. Like, in Arkham Asylum had just come out. There was no word about Arkham City or anything like that, and Batman had kind of just stagnated at the time. But when we heard rumblings about Bane and all that kind of stuff, my excitement shot through the roof. But then going into it in 2012, like, he's like the like when you leave it going, like, yeah, obviously don't expect shit like Jean Paul Valley or stuff like that. And I really wasn't going into it in 2012. Like, I just thought, well, if Bane's going to be in there, are they actually going to have the balls to commit to the backbreaker? And they did. The problem that I had with it when I left, sort of feeling a bit underwhelmed, was what? So, No Man's Land, Nightfall and The Dark Knight Returns combined into one movie. Nolan, mate, pick one. Any one of those can cover a movie. I don't think we needed all three of them.
yeah, well, that's what I mean about just how
Hey
ambitious it
man.
was. Yeah, um, because yeah, like it's a very unfocused film because yeah, it's so ambitious. He tries to cram so much into it, whereas Batman Begins and The Dark Knight were very focused and uh, sort of yeah, and then the way like The Dark Knight just hangs together. It's such a huge movie and a long movie with lots of characters, but yeah, the way it just sort of builds and
Yeah.
builds, and The Dark Knight Rises sort of fell short with that. Um, but yeah, it was just such a huge, ambitious scope. I'm sick of these movies that just play it so fucking safe now. Maybe Nolan's the only guy who can get away with shit like this anymore. I
Well,
don't
well,
know, because he's got
well,
the track record.
well, now that you said it, like, I mean, if this is the concluding chapter to a trilogy and one of your lead actors croaks,
Yeah,
just fucking go nuts. Like, it reminds me of the Kevin Smith fucking quote that he has in the Death of Superman Lives. Like, at this point, like, I'm hired by Warner Brothers, like Lorenzo Di Bonaventura is there and all that kind of stuff. Like, just write your fucking dream movie. Whoever they hire to direct this thing is going to change whatever they don't like anyway. So fucking throw everything in there. Like, just
yeah,
go for it. Like the Eradicator is in there, fucking Cyborg is in there, Superboy is in there, Robin is in there, Batman is in there. Just fucking
yeah.
why not? Because whoever picks this thing up, they're gonna change whatever they don't like anyway.
Yeah, it's funny because the Dark Knight Rises shares some interesting DNA with X-Men 3 because it's but for sort of different reasons than in the Fallout because you have X-Men 3 and
Mm.
so which Singer and his writers were all set to do, but DC and Warner Brothers poached them to do their Superman Returns film, and X-Men 3 eventually came out, but you could tell it wasn't where Singer was intending to go. And
Yeah.
you've got The Dark Knight where, you know, I can't remember who said it, but they learnt their lesson. They in the Burton films they killed the Joker off in the films, and you know Jack Nicholson's still alive and with us, thank God. But they learnt their lesson. You don't kill off great villains like that, so they let him live in The Dark Knight. But
Which
sadly, the actor in real life passed away.
Which is what I find so fucking baffling about Alfred Molina returning in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Like when he's like, "Hey Peter," like the obviously the trailer moment is that's meant to be our Doc Ock from 2004, but he's dead.
Yeah,
And the only way that line makes sense is if he's saying it to Tobey Maguire because he doesn't fucking know Tom Holland.
yeah.
Um, like that whole fucking thing there. Like, yeah, I kind of feel that way about the Raimi movies that they regretted killing these characters off.
Yeah, I think so too. Because back in the day, that's just what you did. It wasn't, you know, Nolan changed that where he had the Scarecrow survived as well as the Joker. Because yeah, back in those days, yeah, you just simply killed off the hero at the end or the villain at the end.
Well, that's what I really liked about Batman and Robin. Like, I actually give it to Joel Schumacher because all three villains survived in Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Bane all lived
All right. Did Poison
in
Ivy
that one.
survive? I thought she died. I can't remember.
Uh, yeah, remember her new cellmate is Winter Has Come at Last. It ends with
Okay.
Freeze giving her hell, but she survived. She's picking
Yeah.
the
Okay.
petals off the flower at the end. And Bane, they rip the tubes out of his brain, and then he turns skinny again, and they just leave him there. Like they didn't actually kill him. Whereas
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you look
Yeah.
at Batman Forever, Two Face dies when Bruce fakes him out with the spare change and he can't grab the, and then he falls to his, you got punked, and then he falls to his death. But Riddler survived. But Batman and Robin is the first comic book movie I can think of where all major antagonists survived the entire thing. All three of them lived.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to. Yeah, I forgot about that. I kind of had an inkling in the back of my mind that Freeze survived, but I thought Poison Ivy died. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, no, we don't get the follow up on Bane, but they never killed him. Metten says, bad movie is Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Well, I guess there's a reason why that's getting rebooted again, right? Like, like I'm sure there's good stuff in it. Like, again, like I like the casting choice they had for Chris, but I mean, it reminds me of that home and away line between Grant Mitchell and Alan Stone, and he's like a bit of a novelist. He sends his book off to his publisher, and then a thing comes back out at work, and Grant's the one that gives it to him, a very thick envelope. He opens it up, and it's a manuscript, and he's like, "Oh, they can't wait to see more." And then Grant corners him later, going, "They don't send manuscripts back, mate, if they like them." All right, fucking. I didn't need anyone to tell me you didn't get the book deal. They don't send them back. They don't reboot movies if they stuck the landing, right? Like they don't send back manuscripts if they like them, mate. Like it's as simple as that. But yeah, having said that, though, I am very intrigued about the new Resident Evil movie. Like the new trailer looks really good, and I think it's a lesson we can all learn is that to not have any of the major characters in it at all. Now, granted, we don't know if any of them are going to turn up at some post credits fucking stinger or whatever, but no Chris, no Leon, no Jill, no Claire, no nothing. I reckon that's the only fucking way you can do it. Like, like adapt the event, not the characters. Um, and that seems to be the strength of this new movie, so I hope they keep doing that. Yeah, I know the Hindu Leon was a bit of a tough sell, but hey, man, it worked with Flash Thompson, right? Oh, do you remember when they were rebooting? Yeah, this one's for you, Miracle Man. Do you remember when they were rebooting with the Mark Webb Amazing Spider-Man when they finally gave Sam Raimi the jilt that Taylor Lautner for the longest time was teed up to be the new Flash Thompson with Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, okay. No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
thought,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're interesting movies, those two, because yeah, it just seemed really unnecessary. They sort of made the hasty snap decision to reboot the whole thing. I always thought that was a really curious decision. Because yeah, at the time the Raimi films weren't that old; they were relatively recent. Um, so yeah, to toss all that out, I thought, and they were sort of lukewarm at the box office and audience sort of reaction, weren't they? They weren't the out and out hits, but I also thought they did something. So there was some real interesting sort of things in there. I liked Garfield's mannerisms. They really sort of played up the spidery things, the way he's a creepy crawly and all around, more than they ever
Yeah,
did with
I
the
quite
Tobey Maguire one. So I
I
thought
quite
that was really interesting.
I quite enjoy the trapdoor spider moment inside of the sewer. Like he's waiting for
Yeah,
one of the webs to pluck.
yeah,
So he knows where the lizard is. I thought that was really cool. Because that
yeah,
was something that Todd McFarlane did. Because Todd McFarlane, there was a really cool Q&A that he did where he was actually called up by the production team for the first Sam Raimi film going, how can we replicate those sort of images that you drew of Spider-Man in live action? Then he said, well, don't use a human because I wasn't thinking about anatomy. I just drew what looked cool. I was thinking
yeah,
about the spider, not the man. Um, but they were trying to replicate a lot of those crazy poses that he illustrated in the 90s, and draw a lot of inspiration from that. Then he's like, well, I was drawing Spider. I wasn't drawing the man. I thought that was really cool. That sort of thing. I think the Andrew Garfield, where I'm going with that is, I think the Andrew Garfield version, it walks that line. Like it gets close. Like it's not the real thing, but it gets close enough.
yeah. I felt yeah. There's some stuff in it that's really good. But there's other stuff that sort of falls short. I did like the choice to use the lizard, but I found his design to be a bit poor. They
I,
probably should have gone for a more
I will
faithful
say,
look. And
I just want to throw this one out there for all of the fucking Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher hating assholes in the world, talking about Billy D. Williams got robbed of Two Face. Dylan Baker, man, got completely fucked out of the lizard. He would have been so cool, um, as the villain, man. Like for real, doing that. I'd love to have seen Raimi's design for what that could have been with Dylan Baker.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, it's something that you lose when you decide to reboot. I mean, they could have, if Maguire didn't want to come back, they could have gone with someone else and not sort of missed much at all. I don't think. I think the franchise was in sort of a really good place despite some of the worst excesses of the third film. And I felt the sequel to the Garfield one, Electro, like there's no doubt Electro is a classic Spider-Man villain, pretty much been there since the first year. But I don't know, I just felt he didn't really like. I just yeah, to me he doesn't quite carry the movie. I would have
Well, I thought the whole
not
point,
like
I thought the whole point of Max Dillon was he was a fucking nobody. Like, you don't cast Jamie Foxx as a nobody, right? Like, that was always sort of
yeah,
the
I
tough
felt
sell for me. Yeah,
yeah, Electro. I mean, he's never been sort of like he is a classic Spider-Man Ditko Lee creation. No, like he was. I think he makes his appearance in like issue 5 or 6 or something of the original comic. So he's there. He was there pretty much from day dot. I don't know. I just felt yeah, Electro to me, he doesn't. Yeah, but
and
he's not
and
exactly
and
waving
and
your flag, is he?
yeah, but he like also correct me if I'm wrong, but was he one of the original Sinister Six?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
Doc, Mysterio, Electro, Rhino. But yeah, he was. Yeah, because the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 is the Chameleon. Issue 2 is the
yeah, the
Vulture, I
chameleon.
think, and
Yeah.
issue 3 is Doc Ock. Issue 4 was Sandman. And I mean, look at that! Like fucking, like look at that right there! Like there's some foundational pillars. I mean, these guys were
Sandman.
just yeah, the Scorpion, Electro. They all showed up pretty much within Craven. He came shortly after as well. Um, yeah, the Ditko Lee run is just like those two guys are at their fucking peak. That's what built the MCU. Yeah. Um, so and yeah, Garfield got the two, didn't he? That was his
Yeah.
thing.
So what? And was same.
And
So it was same director. Mark Webb did both of them.
yeah,
I
and
don't ever think
he
I
came
saw the
back.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't think I ever saw that one. I saw Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 1
Mm.
at the theater, but that was about it. I never saw the second one.
Yeah, I saw it once. I've only seen both of them once, actually. Yeah, I saw, but I didn't see them like when they were newish. Like I sort of saw the first one on home video, and I saw the second one enter Electro a year or two after it had come out. And there's also because Paul Giamatti is the Rhino in a short scene as well
Oh
as
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
a sort of a side villain. So yeah, and then I haven't seen the Holland films, but they use the Vulture, Mysterio, and then they
It's
bring all the Raimi
interesting.
ones back, for that third one.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that a lot of the Tom Holland ones are just rejected or recycled hangover ideas from the Raimi days. You know, like even Batman has done that. Like even Superman has done that. Like fucking Nicolas Cage, for fuck's sake, has rocked up as Superman in a movie that's not called Superman, most famous by playing Superman in a Superman movie that was never fucking made.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
Flash
it,
cameo, isn't it?
you
Is
know,
that the
like,
Flash cameo? Yeah.
yeah, and I refuse to believe that fucking that Dawn of Justice did not use holdovers from Superman Lives. Like obviously Superman has to die. Like it absolutely fucking was using hangover ideas from a project 20 years ago at that point. 1996, 2016, not necessarily a weekend. And that was sort of one of the reasons why I don't like the Tom Holland movies. Like, oh, Mysterio rocks up, which I believe in the storyboards it was meant to be Bruce Campbell, I think,
Yeah, okay.
in the Raimi movies. But you know, like we were gonna do the Lizard next, and then the Lizard rocks up. Like, I think that's sort of the what made Andrew Garfield draw the short straw with me was that a lot of the ideas in his two movies were just Sam Raimi hangovers. Like, oh, all right, so you get rid of Raimi and you part ways with him, you bring someone else in, tonally shift it, but you're still using those concepts. Like, you know, like we're sort of retreading old ground. But is it worth the price tag of a reboot? Like, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I it's yeah, and sort of go back to your earlier point because you sort of realize you've missed your time because I would have loved to have when I was really into the sort of character. I always thought Mysterio would be a good villain for a film, and yeah, when he finally gets his day in the sun, like I've sort of moved on as a viewer, and I still
I
haven't got
know.
around to watching it.
Because the thing that annoyed me about that, yeah, I know, man, and I still haven't seen it either. Yeah, Quentin Beck, you know, and like I had someone screaming at me because, like I said, I was turned off by I think that was the Not So Far From Home, or whatever the fuck it was called. Like I was turned off by it because I didn't like the fact that Quentin Beck rocked up unmasked. I think it was Jake Gyllenhaal. I wasn't too big on Mysterio being in the fucking trailer because I'm pretty sure anyone worth their salt will tell you the best Mysterio stories are the ones when you don't know it was him. Like,
Yeah,
so the fact that he rocked up and Spider-Man is fighting the element, like, there's no fucking surprises in this at all. Like, I
no.
mean, like, you know, and people told me going, oh, yeah, but do you really wanted there to be some kind of big mystery? It's a fucking Spider-Man movie, right, Co? And I'm sitting there going, the villain is called fucking Mysterio. I'd like to think there's a mystery in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dipshit.
Yeah, I always liked the Ultimate version, because he was conspicuously sort of absent. They didn't touch Mysterio for a long, long time, and they did um they did a team up with the Ultimate because eventually Peter gets replaced by Miles Morales. Miles Morales began life in the Ultimate Universe. and he teams up with the mainstream
Yeah,
PR.
he's one of the very few characters to be born in Ultimate and bleed over into
Yeah,
Marvel. He's like you could probably count the characters on like one hand who've managed to achieve that.
yeah. Well, the only other one, yeah, there's been a couple. The other one that springs immediately to mind is the Reed Richards, where
Yeah.
the Reed Richards in the Ultimate Universe is a villain. He didn't start out as a villain, but he eventually becomes the Maker. I think he's now in the proper. He made the jump as well, because he was just yeah, a real breakout character. So yeah, but eventually, Mysterio makes his appearance. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. So Mysterio makes his appearance in this miniseries, and it's just the Marvel Universe one. He's
Yeah.
crossed over. It's like sometimes the simplest solution is the best one.
Yeah, just
So
copy him
I
over,
remember
right?
Bendis,
Yeah.
yeah, Bendis was teasing it, and it was like, yeah, Mysterio. We're finally figured out Mysterio. They're just using the proper Marvel Universe one. It was very funny.
Yeah, well, like fucking why not?
Yeah,
You
with the
know,
big
like
fish bowl.
yeah, the dome head. I always love when the dome gets cracked, like in the Spider-Man PS1 video game. The dome gets cracked, and at the end of it, there's bandages wrapped around the dome, like the dome is
Yeah,
injured. I love it when they do that with Mysterio.
yeah,
Yeah, you know, like he was one that I was always holding out for. Like I love the Yellow Brick Road stuff, and like, yeah, but I mean, Rock showing him in the trailer, like, there's like what's the, why fucking do that? Like,
yeah,
I mean, you could have easily have had the, you know, and it's funny, like the people who were screaming at me for hating the fact that Mysterio rocks up in the Spider-Man Disney MC whatever trailer. Like, I mean, it would have been such an awesome hysterical moment if he rocked up for real in the actual film, if they could keep their pants on and just have the so-called elementals being the main villains in all of the marketing campaign. That would have been so fucking cool. But there's when you show Mysterio off, there is literally no fucking surprises in this. You know,
yeah.
oh, well, what did you think? You know, it's a comic book movie. The character is called fucking Mysterio. I wanted there to be a mystery at some point. But whatever. I mean, maybe I'm just, you know what? Well, fuck me. Maybe I'm the asshole at that point.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like a royal shit, Ted.
you know, because I'm the one who fucking, you know, set you up with this guy. Yeah, well, fuck calling her. I'm going down there. Um, you know, like it, and like again, like I would like to see the female Doctor Octopus, and she rocked up in the animated Into the Spider Verse movie, and
Well, that's
things
pretty
like
cool.
yeah, Octavia, yeah, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Um, but you know, like if Alfred Molina is still alive and he is fucking, you know, still got that pudgy sort ofness about him, fucking, we'll just tap him again, right?
Yeah. So is that female Doc Ock? Is that the one from the '90s, Carolyn Trainer, or has there been a new one in
No,
the interim?
isn't it? No, isn't it Octavia? I think the movie might have very well have made up their own one, but no.
Yeah, okay.
If you're going into it with like the pink hair joystick, Typhoid Mary sort of punk rogue X-Men '90s look, yeah, nah, man, like that's not in the movie, but it is a female Doctor Octopus in the first animated Spider-Man movie, the 2018 one. He is a bastard character. That's some character insight on Mysterio. I'm guessing from Metin. Well, he is a villain, right? Um, he's not meant to make life easier. And who are the two kingpins we've had in real life? We had what Michael Clark Duncan in '03, and was it Vincent D'Onofrio in the series? I'm not too
Yeah,
sure.
he makes yeah, he first appears in the Netflix Daredevil show from, oh, it was a while ago now, but yeah, he's the Kingpin. Um the Yeah, he's played by Vincent D'Onofrio. I've seen season that was a really good show, but it's a weird thing that's sort of happened there because Marvel, they were very hands off. Netflix developed Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. I only ever saw Daredevil and um, a couple of Jessica Jones, but yeah, they were sort of really. had a very different tone and style to the other MCU stuff, but and Marvel sort of kind of washed their hands of it. But now, so Daredevil has come back in a show called Born Again, and it's still Charlie Cox and all that. So it's, but yeah, I'm a little bit behind on that. I really enjoyed season one and two. Season one is brilliant, and because yeah, television gave him the room to breathe. You can bring in Stick, and you can bring in the Hand, and all these sorts of elements that had never really given their due. And season two just takes it like a massive throw forward. They bring in Elektra and the Punisher and other things like that. Um, the Yeah, I think the only thing they sort of never got around to before it sort of got canned was Bullseye. I think, or they do something really weird. Um, because it's hard to, because if you Google is Bullseye in season three, it's sort of, it's like I think they did a rug pull the way they did the Mandarin in Iron Man 3.
Oh
Um,
yeah, what is William Fichtner? Oh no, that was
yeah,
Shredder.
yeah, yeah.
My
Um,
bad.
but yeah, I have to go back because the Punisher got his own series as well, and I think the Punisher is back in this new Spider-Man film as well. The guy from The Walking Dead, he played John Bernthal. Yeah, he played Shane in The Walking Dead. Um, but yeah, Daredevil is a phenomenal show. Yeah, geez, they did a good job on that.
Yeah, Stick and Stone.
Yeah,
Um,
Scott Glenn plays Stick, and he's amazing in it. He's only in a handful of episodes, but is really leaves an impression.
it's the classic. He's there for a good time and not a long time.
Yeah, and yeah, it
Yeah,
brings in Kunlun
Metten
and
agrees with you. Yeah, Stick Scott Glenn is fucking awesome.
yeah,
In that,
he's really good in it.
was that the shut up and eat your ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking
Um,
born blind.
yeah, and I think it brings in other members of the Chased as well. It's yeah, and again, when Stick shows up, you just know the story's going to get a hell of a lot bigger. It brings in the Hand and this huge war that's happening, and
Stick.
yeah, everything just felt really good. Um, and yeah, television gave it the time to breathe, and you can really develop all these things.
Did they adapt Stone?
Well, yeah, like I said, I didn't see it through to its conclusion. I really need to, but Stick's first appearance ends on a jaw-dropping cliffhanger. Stick goes into this mysterious place, and yeah, it's it sort of pans back, and you see from the back who he's talking to, and it's yeah, it was a really cool. Like I forget the quote. It's "Will he be ready when the doors open?" And you just think, "Holy shit, what the hell is going on?" And there was a lot of speculation. Are they talking about Kunlun? And um, yeah, but like I said, I think I watched it back in 2015. I'd have to revisit it to yeah, to refresh my memory. But yeah, like the hands there. Um, and that's something as well. Kevin Smith blew his wad over it
Of
when,
course he did.
because that's how the episode opens. Daredevil is fighting a red ninja, and you think, holy shit, the Hand is here. Um, yeah, it just embraced all these cool things from the comics and really ran with them.
All right, let me just since we're talking about ninjas and all of that, and I'm looking at one here, like Stone when he's wrapped up in white, but he's giving me another sort of ninja dressed in white vibes. So Matt Murdock at the top of his game versus Storm Shadow. Who would you give it to?
Oh, gee, that's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, Daredevil's a ninja, right? So, but that's what Frank Miller did. Frank Miller made Batman a ninja as well. Yeah, Storm Shadow's a ninja. I don't know, maybe.
Like it would be a
mm,
pretty fucking. You'd have to check the photo at the finish line, right? Between
Yeah,
the
maybe.
two of them.
Yeah, maybe Daredevil because he's got his super senses and that. I'd probably give it to him.
Yeah,
But
I reckon so too. Like, but that's definitely one. Like, it's like that CGI fight in Rocky Balboa. Personally, I would have paid to see the fight. To actually see it for real. if
Yeah,
that
that's
actually
right.
happened. Just out of interest, did they ever touch the yellow Daredevil suit again? Like, I know in the Kev Smith run, that was sort of what he lent into. I'm not expecting the TV series to do it. It might have been a bit too far fetched. But did they ever touch the yellow suit again?
I don't think it makes an appearance in the show, but the show treats the costume really cool because he's only in the costume in the final episode. There's a real evolution where he just wears this black bandana around his head and he wears just a black top. Um, and then and then over the course of the seasons, his costume evolves. It's really interesting how they did that. And he teams up with I think Gladiator, but he's not Gladiator, kind of a lesser known Daredevil villain. So who helps him design his costume with the armor protection and things like that. Um, so by the start of season two, he's fully in his costume with the horns and the red and the armor and stuff. So yeah, it was really
So,
cool
like,
how
just
they,
sort of like kind of add pieces to it over the course
yeah,
of
it
the,
evolves,
yeah.
yeah, as the show goes on. It's really cool how they treated that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the yellow one again, but it's one of those sort of like, will we ever see Batman in a grey and blue suit, despite the fact that Schumacher already did that? Because the Sonar suit is grey and blue. Like, there you go. At the
Yeah,
end of,
yeah, I would
um,
love to see the blue and grey suit. It really annoyed me. I wanted a action figure of Bane, and it comes, Bane comes with Batman in a two-piece collection, and Batman is in his blue and grey suit, but he's battle damaged, where with the cuts and bruises from his Nightfall fight, and I don't want that.
oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it's got that 1970s sort of Jim
Yeah,
Lee look to it. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I know the
and
one you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, my kingdom for a Batman in blue and grey. My kingdom for it.
Yeah, I know. I'll never forget that first fucking photo that they released of the Ben Affleck Batman suit when it was all grayed out. Is it going to be a grey and blue suit? Are you fucking as if Snyder will ever give this thing the time of day? Like I find it hard to believe. Like, and still, but at the same time, I'm also happy as well that the closest we've ever gotten to this was the Sonar suit, where it was like a metallic, silvery blue over the entire costume. That is the closest we have ever had to a Batman of that era. I'm looking at it now where it's all marked up, and I'm not too big of a fan of the scowl either on the Batman toy.
Yeah, part of me keeps hoping they'll do another print run of and just give us a basic figure without all the battle damage on it. But then they'd probably fuck the Bane toy up, so you can't win either way.
No, you know what they'll do with the Bane toy? They'll tear open the mouth of the mask so the teeth are exposed. Or some
Yeah,
shit like that. Like, just like, leave it like fucking. What does Stanley say in The Office? I know Jesus ain't white, just give me pure baby Jesus in a manger Christmas. I'm
yeah,
like, I'm tired of this shit. um, yeah, because that's recreating the actual backbreaker scene
yes,
after their fight. That's why he's got the battle
yeah,
damage.
yeah,
Is
that's right, yeah,
what that is. And yeah, like when I draw my Batmans, like I always do it like that because like fucking for one thing, like drawing Batman, it like fucking inking the cape out. Like I used to think Venom was a cunt. But doing it with the cape, especially if you're going for an all black Batman sort of look, man, nah, fuck that. I've always sort of drawn him and kept him well sort of lit, with that sort of pale blue, sky blue type of look, because like that to me is Batman. That version, like everyone, and even the 1990s animated series is a blue cape as well.
yeah,
They just give it that sort of navy wash to it
yeah,
in the animation, but that's still blue as well. I don't think it turned all black and grey until like the New Adventures, I think, or World's Finest.
yeah. I think it in the new adventures, yeah, it switched to a black and grey.
Yeah. So what, we haven't had a fully like sort of nice articulated Batman of that era that's grey and blue.
Oh, there probably, you'd like to think there has been, but yeah, I've been on the hunt off and on in the past year or so to try and find one that sort of would really look good. Because I also would like to own a decent Bane as well. Yeah, it's
The
very hard to
Bane, the
sort of,
Bane, the Bane figure does look good. That's probably one of the
yeah,
best Banes I've ever seen.
yeah, and it's surprisingly hard to find a good Bane figure as well. There, like, because Bane is very popular. He's had a lot of action figures, but none of them are quite right for me and my collection. That one is though. That's a phenomenal looking
Yeah,
toy. It's
that
just
that that wouldn't look out of place next to your penguins.
yeah,
Like that looks the part, and I love the ink sort of like yeah, like you can see because it's that 90s inspiration, the blue highlights on black, because like typical like what you would do, like they even did this with Superman, like when you ink out the hair you add blue as the highlight. Not that they have blue hair, but blue is the best color to add that sort of depth and shading. Like Bane is wearing all black, so you add blue to the highlight to give that sort of contrast to it. I love the way that it really does that, and not to mention I love how the tube feeds up the arm and not into the head. I think that's really cool
yeah,
as well. Like that's straight out of that comic book. That is pretty much the definitive Bane right there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's yeah. It's based on his sort of earliest appearances. So
And he actually did show up in the '90s series, didn't he?
he did. Yeah, he had an episode. I think it's just simply called Bane. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and he's
and
got the and it's funny they've kind of walked it back a little bit. He's even got the full-on South American accent. Um, And well, I'm really excited as well because Nightfall's getting an animated adaptation.
yeah,
The
I
trailer's
saw
out.
that. I was talking to Gigzip about that. Um, when because he's been streaming Arkham City, he's been doing a playthrough of Arkham City. And I was like, look, the trailer looks really good because I've seen it since then. I love how we're finally getting away from the Frank Miller art style. We got nice, long, pointy ears on Batman and all that kind of stuff. If they fuck around and they get creative with Jean Paul Valley's blue armored robot batsuit, this whole trilogy is getting a 0 out of 10. Like that trailer looks great and like it is incredibly faithful to that comic book in terms of its art style and all of that. I just wish shit like Reign of the Superman were the same, you know. But like they never did that. But knowing my luck, because this looks so cool, they're gonna get fucking creative, and it'll be Jean Paul Valley wearing the grey and blue bat suit just with some Wolverine claws. It won't be the full on mouth closed in sort of freezer fighter soldier Ginyu Force esque armor. It won't be that at all. If they fucking get creative and stop following the art style at Azrael in the Azrael batsuit, now I don't think they will, but I have been let down before. I love the look of Azrael, like the actual Saint Dumas outfit in the trailer. You were right. That literally leapt right out of that fucking comic book. Like that is bang on to how he looks. I want the Azrael blue bat robot suit. If they fuck that up, man, it's a 0 out of 10. All three movies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the other interesting part. It's going to be a trilogy, a three-part sort of adaptation. I think not even Crisis on Infinite Earths. I think got three parts. So yeah, they
But
really
but but
do
do
make
we
the
but
royal
do
treatment.
but do we know for a fact that the trilogy is going to be adapted verbatim, like Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's End? Do we
Oh,
know
we
that?
don't know
Or
that for sure, no. But yeah, well, even then, it's still they'll probably struggle to put every single thing in. I don't think it'll be 100% faithful. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because I think I watched their adaptation of Hush a couple of years ago and I thought yeah they made some improvements on the original story. So yeah, but I'll definitely check out Nightfall. It looks really good.
yeah, I know it looks like, and also they kept the Alfred shooting Bane with a shotgun in there. Did you catch the smoking shotgun?
No, I didn't, but I like to yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of that story. So
I always thought it was a blunderbuss, but I'm pretty sure he shot the Predator with a blunderbuss, right? Um,
yeah,
I think that's how it worked. Yeah, because Alfred is like ex special forces. He knows how to work a gun and shit.
yeah,
But yeah, and Geek sort of agreed with me on that. He was like, yeah, if they fuck up the Azrael suit, yeah, the trilogy's getting a 0 out of 10. like I don't know why people steer clear of it because that to me, like hand on heart, man, that is my favorite bat suit ever. The blue, the gold. Like I love how the talons are on the calves and not on
yeah,
the like that is and that smirk, like that laugh you were just doing, man. Like everyone laughs at me when I say that. Like no, it genuinely is my favorite bat suit of all time. I would love to see that. Like I was fucking over the moon when what is it? My nephew told me it was actually a skin you could use in Arkham Origins. You can actually play as the Azrael Batsuit, and I
yeah.
didn't.
It's in one of them, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, like I didn't care all that much for that game, but as soon as he told me, oh yeah, no, you can actually play as it, that went from 0 to 100. Like that was a must buy right then and there. And you were telling me for years to check out Arkham Origins. Man, it plays great. It's a good story, all that good stuff. And I was like, yeah, just sort of sitting on the fence about it and all that kind of jazz. But as soon as I heard you could actually play as this skin of Batman, I'm like, I'm all in.
yeah,
Where are we going from there? I just wish we could actually see more of it exposed in like different parts of media. To see it in an animated form for the first time ever would be really cool. Which makes me, and believe it or not, which makes me even more like I'm not so keen on Nightfall. I'm very intrigued about how they're going to adapt Knight's Quest.
yeah.
Like, because I think that's going to be the jewel in the crown um, of how they handle this. Like,
Yeah, 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 I'm definitely going to check it out to see, yeah, um, yeah, how they do it.
well, it's interesting because there's no Jean Paul Valley outside of the Asriel snippet in the trailer. Like Jean Paul's
Mm.
name is not mentioned, like at all. Like we don't see him, we don't see the blonde hair, we don't see any of that. Um,
Yeah, well, for the longest time, it was hard to get those stories. It's only relatively recently that they've begun reprinting his portion of the story. It used to drive me mad, because they would reprint the first part of the saga, Nightfall, all the time, like every weekend, and then they would cut straight to Night's End, like the particular, because the titles at the time split off into groups of two. You had Bruce following his recovery, and then the other two books followed Jean Paul Valley's career as Batman. But for the longest time, DC didn't collect them, and it really gave me the shits. It's only in the last sort of decade or so that those stories are finally back in print again. Night Quest. Um,
yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know. I
because
don't
like
know
the
why. Maybe they thought,
because the omnibus for Nightfall has pretty much been in print ever since omnibus became a vocabulary word, right? But the other two,
yeah,
like, were very late to the party doing that.
yeah. It used to annoy me because there's a big chunk of it missing. I don't know. It's a yeah. I don't know. It's weird how they sort of um treat it because yeah. I don't know. DC in particular. The 1990s were a pretty tumultuous decade of comics. Um,
Especially
maybe
with
they,
like even on both sides, like especially with Marvel, like the entire industry at the time was just sort of like in this fucking hurricane of limbo. Like if those
yeah,
two things can exist.
yeah. Well, spinning out of the death of Superman, you got Nightfall, and then, but they knew they had over-egged the pudding with the Emerald Twilight, like fucking over
Was that
Hal
the
Jordan.
Green Lantern Coast City
Yeah,
thing? Yeah.
yeah. They realized they went too far there, and so maybe they thought it was wise to just all those characters from that era, like John Paul Valley and the Eradicator and all them. Maybe just put them on ice for a while. Um, but they're back in action now. I think the
Oh
Eradicators
yeah, and
makes
deservedly
erratic
so.
appearances.
Like even like characters like Kane from
Yeah,
Spider-Man are now like household names now. Like it's
yeah. Well, he
been
he became the new Scarlet Spider. So yeah, he
yeah,
actually
I know,
holds that
yeah.
title a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know. Like I think it was around like the Superior Spider-Man angle as well,
Yeah,
when that whole thing was kicking off. So like maybe it really was sort of like ahead of the curb, and all of that. But I think in terms of the real crux, like I know Nightfall is a very sort of milestone in Bruce Wayne's sort of publication history, but without a doubt for me, man, the takeaway is always going to be John Paul Valley. And if they can, like, I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's talking the talk, it's walking the walk. Can it keep doing that when we get up to Knight's Quest? Because if we start getting spastic going into part two of this, it's an instant zero. Because, like, Jean Paul Valley, if you fumble Jean Paul Valley, you've essentially fucked this trilogy, is really what it is. You know,
yeah.
like, I mean, like Bruce is only half the actual equation, right? Like you need the other
Yeah.
one in there.
I
Like
think
yeah,
that's the moral of the story tonight. Find someone who loves you as much as you love Jean Paul Valley.
yeah. Well, I always love that line from the BBC radio drama when when Bane had that southern, y- Colombian sort of accent from like Hell on Earth. He's like, "I've already won. I've already broke the Batman. I love the guy who was doing Jean Paul Valley's voice, not this Batman," and just lays him out. Like if they can adapt that, man, I would absolutely love that. But yeah, like Nightfall, like I mean, of course, like it's an awesome story and all of that, but it's only one piece of the puzzle, man. And like Asriel is in the first one. You've got that. It sounds like you want to fuck the thing. Um, like man, oh man, my balls were like this big. Um, but yeah, no, like I'm really looking forward to Knight's Quest and all of that. And like, I mean, well, let me ask you, like, when's the last time you've ripped through? Well, like even fuck Knight's End. I've ever only read Knight's End once from start to finish.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's been a while. I've got them laying around here somewhere. I might dig them up and read over them before the films come out, just to sort of refresh my memory.
Yeah, that would be a nice sort of thing. Because, like, from memory, it's not even a fight. And that was one thing that I brought up was, well, that's sort of why they have to adapt the Jean Paul Valley batsuit because it's sort of the reason why Bruce gets the better of him because the suit is too chunky and all of that. It can't move through the Batcave.
Yeah,
So Bruce gets the better of him because Jean Paul has to take the armor off to
that's
be
right.
able.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's almost like they've locked themselves in. So I think, like based on that, we're definitely going to see the blue robot, the blue and gold robot at some point because like it's integral to the plot or the lore or whatever fucking fans say these days. Like whatever. Like I'm not up on all this jive talking homeboy lingo when it comes to fandoms these days. All I know is I love me some long ears on Batman. I love me some blue and gold robot bat suits on Azrael, and I love me some grey and blue on Batman, and we seem to be getting a lot of that lately. So yeah, definitely checking that one out. Anything else on your radar?
Uh, what tonight or the weekend or just
Yeah, no, like things like, like we got the first part of Nightfall coming out. Any other animated comic book movies or anything like that? You gonna check out the new Spider-Man? Anything like on your
um
radar to suss out?
yeah, I have you ever heard of Asterix?
The symbol?
The little Viking dude with the hat.
No,
Asterix.
I know what an Asterix is. I
Yeah.
don't know someone called Asterix, if that's what you're asking me.
I think Asterix the Gaul, the comic book character. I was in the bookstore uh, last weekend. It was just sort of
Oh
weird.
no, I fucking know this thing. Oh, it's been ages since I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Asterix and Obelix.
yeah, it looks like the old Hanna Barbera uh, sort of days. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
Aston. Yeah, no. Oh God, man, we're going back a bit.
yeah. I was in the bookstore, and the omnibus collecting the first three stories caught my eye, and I was umming and ahhing, so I did another lap of the bookstore, and I thought, why not, right? So actually, there were two books there. There was a more moderate one collecting the first three stories, and there was this lavish, beautiful hardcover collecting all of them. I'm thinking, I'm not sure if I'm a fan to do that, but I thought I would sensible local, right?
Yeah,
So I bought the
minuscule, small scale, small, like
yeah,
one volume.
yeah, and it's had some adaptations. I'm particularly interested in the one from 2002, Asterix and Obelix meet Cleopatra. Monica Bellusci's in it. It's
Yeah.
again, it's hard because it's a French um, property. It's again because he's had a few adaptations, some animated, some live action, some CGI. It can be hard to get the subtitles exactly right. But I managed to find a copy of the film from 2002, so I'm going to try and get some time on the weekend to watch that as well. Because I found, I think the latest movie was Asterix and the Magic Potion. And when I sat down to watch it, the subtitles are slightly out of sync by about 2 or 3 seconds, enough to be annoying and kept taking me out of the film. Um,
If you do it on your laptop through VLC, you can actually speed them up
yeah, okay,
to
yeah,
make
I'll
them
have to
line
try
up.
that.
Mhm.
I've got VLC on my smart TV, but yeah, I might have to do it on the laptop. But the live action film from 2002, I managed to find a copy where the subtitles were in sync. And it looks amazing. I watched the first 5 or 10 minutes last night, and yeah, it looks really good. But I wanted to wait until I have enough time to watch it from beginning to end. But yeah, because I always wanted to learn more about this character because yeah, it's been around forever. It's been around for decades and decades and decades, and it just seems to keep selling. Like in 2026, you can walk into a bookstore and still find him. So he must have something going for him.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
well,
it just
how could 6 billion Chinese people be wrong?
yeah, it's they're very funny and action packed and adventure and so all those things that sort of tick the boxes for me. Um, so yeah, I'll be checking out Asterix and Obelix meet Cleopatra on the weekend.
Yeah, it's a crossover of sorts, right? You
Yeah,
know, we're
well,
trying to
Monica
cross.
Bellucci, she was a pretty big star at that point in time. She was in the two Matrix movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like I think like as far as yeah, shit that's on my radar to check out, like apart from going through Knight's Quest again with some of those pages stuck together. Yeah, fucking, it's like when people say, if you haven't been reading this comic book since 2012, you're not a real fucking comic book fan. Well, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts. Like most of us comic book fans in 2012, you're probably popping boners over the Dark Knight Rises. You probably weren't reading too many comics in 2012. Like, not to mention the fucking Avengers came out that year as well. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the 2010s, we were living like kings, weren't we?
yeah, I mean, well, I always do that fucking Chevy Chase moment from Dirty Work. Hindsight's 2020, my friend, and he's like got like a fucking arm cut off, like Sophie and Kill Bill,
Yeah.
um, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm really sort of yeah. Well, that was definitely a fucking blast from the past. Yeah, Asterix.
Yeah,
Um,
Asterix.
I'm still gonna yeah, like I might have to give Knight's Quest and Night End um another read through because like I said, I ever only read through Knight's End once Um, I've out of the three of them, I probably read through Knight's Quest the most, but I'm guessing, like all things animation, that movie is still a ways away yet. So we'll sit down and do the deep dive on that one. Yeah, 2010s was the golden age, man. Yeah, I know, right? Um, yeah, never had it so good. Every single time I mean, 2011 started with "I have a hangover." Whoa, we didn't know how true that was in terms of our entertainment. But since it's getting on a bit, I'm gonna wrap up the stream now because unfortunately we do have to do certain human things like eat food and sleep and breathe air and all that good stuff. So I'll cap us out here, and no idea. I think we'll get back into Resident Evil 9. I might kick off the next one Sunday. I got a couple of movies to catch up. I just wish I had more time, to read more movies, read more books, watch more movies like Harold and Maude or The Karate Kid, you know. But anyway, that's it for YouTube, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.